Deneen driving the ball up court, passes it to Masterson. Masterson to Lepore. Lepore back to Masterson. Back to Sommer. Sommer for three, no good. And Darien gets the ball. Looking for it for their first points this game. Valji with the inbound, passes it to Welsh. Welch back to Valji. Valji to Nolan. Nolan back to Valji. Welch drives the ball up court, passes it to Ryan. Out of bounds on Ryan. Wilton ball back.
Yeah, too many mistakes passing-wise and turnovers for the Blue Wave offense so far.
Doyle bringing the ball up court. Pass it to Sommer. Sommer to Deneen. Deneen back to Sommer. To Lepore to Deneen. Recovered by Sommer. Pass to Masterson. Masterson up and gets the foul.
First free throws of the game for the Warriors.
Yeah, we are sorry for the audio issues at the start of this broadcast, but it seems that we're back now. Number 23, Ashley Masterson now up to shoot some free throws. The first one, no good.
Yeah, Masterson, no points to show so far. Still early in the first quarter, though, but two strong defensive plays that led to Wilton points.
Masterson's second free throw. It's good. Darien up 8-0 early as Nolan gets the ball. Nolan to Welch. Nolan brings the ball up court, passes it back to Welch. Welch to Nolan.
Being smothered by the Warriors before they even get to half court, Nave.
Yeah, Nolan to Welch. Welch to Ryan. Ryan for the layup, no good. Driving up the court, it's number 12. Passes it to Sommer, no good. Nolan with the rebound. Passes it to Welch. Welch to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick to Nolan. Nolan to Welch.
Good ball
Valji.
movement here.
No good as Wilton get the ball back up 8-0.
Yeah, that was great ball movement by the Wave. They were getting pretty pressed up against this Warriors defense, but you know they couldn't quite finish as Lauren Valji air balls, and now it'll be Warrior ball again.
Yeah, Doyle bringing the ball up the court, passing it to Masterson. Masterson to Deneen. All three captains get on this one. Deneen with the layup, and it's in. Nolan, Valji. Passes to Welch. Back to Valji. Nolan. Up to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick double teamed. And it looks to be Darien ball here.
Yeah, Sommer got a hand on that one before it goes out, so it'll be Mackenzie Nolan on the inbound.
Nolan to Fitzpatrick. Gets fouled on the way up. She'll shoot 2 free throws here.
And first one's of the game for the Blue Wave. Was the only senior on this varsity roster, Neve. Goes to the line.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick against Wright Tech scored 15 points as she misses the first free throw here.
Be good to just get some points here. A little momentum for Darien.
And her second free throw, also no good. Rebounded by Deneen. Deneen bringing it up court. Passes it to Doyle. Doyle to Sommer. Sommer to Deneen. Deneen double teamed. Sommer wide open. Passes it to Lepore. Lepore to Sommer. To Deneen. Sommer to Doyle. Sommer. Deneen, no good from 3. Rebounded by Sommer. Doyle. Back to Deneen. From 3 again. No good as the shot clock goes out.
Head coach Stephanie Runis is being vocal with her team, making some subs. We'll see the freshman Faye Bepler come on.
Yeah, for Nolan. Valji, Bepler. Welch driving down court, looking to get Darien's first points in this one. Welch stolen by Lepore. Lepore to Doyle. Doyle up for 2. No. Rebounded by Lepore and in for 2.
Yeah, Wilton has been using those double teams effectively so far on the defensive side. Look at this. They're pressing all the way up the court.
And it seems to be working as Bepler, and it's blocked again by Sommer for the layup, and it's in. Darien up 14-0, or Wilton up 14-0 against the Blue Wave early in this one.
Yeah, another timeout called by head coach Stephanie Runis. Take it away, and Sommer scores immediately. And the Blue Wave need to figure out a way to get past this full court press and drive to the cup and finish. Just too many turnovers and just too many errant passes and poor decision making.
And this is a Wilton team, Owen, that doesn't score much. On average, their points per game is just around 37, 38, and early in the first quarter, they're already at 14 points. I think Darien needs to work on focusing on their defense here and stop and also prevent these messy turnovers that they've been doing.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of times you'll hear before games that it's a turnover battle. Whichever team turns the ball over less is going to end up winning. I know you hear that a lot in football, but it applies to other sports as well. As we see how many turnovers the Blue Wave has had so far and how many points that turns into for the Wilton Warriors.
Yeah, I think Darien also their passing game, being more precise with their passing and also finding ways to evade the double teams, because if there's a double team, there's always someone wide open. Finding those wide open players and getting those shots off, and Darien could bring this one within at least 2 by the end of this first quarter.
Yeah, you have to think that head coach Keyshawn Macklin for the Warriors knows about this Blue Wave team and knew that this full court press method would work against a team. Maybe he feels his girls are more physical, as again we see another double team.
And McCloskey in. As there's an 8-second backcourt violation, it's Wilton ball.
And McCloskey was trying to get that one to Valji behind the center line.
Yeah. As Doyle brings it up the court, passes it to Masterson. Masterson to Deneen. Deneen going up for 2, no good. Masterson on the rebound, and it's in. Bepler in to McCloskey. McCloskey driving up court and runs right into number 11, Doyle. Yeah, it seems to be a foul on the visitor side here as McCloskey inbounds the ball.
And with just over 3 minutes left in this first frame, still no points for the Blue Wave.
Inbounded to Welch. Welch, Fitzpatrick. No good, too high. Unfortunate start to Darien. Could have been the first points in this one, but unfortunately it's no good.
Yeah, hit the top of the part that's holding the basket to the roof of the main gym here at DHS, so doesn't count even though it went in.
Doyle from 3, no good. Rebounded by Masterson. Masterson, no good. Rebounded by Masterson again. To Sommer. Sommer for 3, no good. To Masters. Masters gets the foul on the layup.
It was 3 offensive rebounds from Ashley Masterson on that drive, and my goodness, she's being physical in the paint, and she earns herself another trip to the line here.
Yeah, it looks similar to the Knicks game last night, where on the last possession of the game, 3 offensive rebounds let the Mavericks ice the lead, as Masterson's first free throw is no good.
I know you're a Knicks fan, Neve. Just remember that Luka was not playing. So if he was playing, might have been a different result.
Masterson again, and her second free throw is good.
Masterson's up to 4 in this one.
Welch, Valji, Welch to Elise Hull, who's checked in this one. Back to Welch, Valji. Valji looking for someone. Ryan to Welch. To Holt, back to Welch, up for 2, and it's in. Darien gets its first points of the night behind Ava Welch.
A great job from Ava Welch driving in, using the play that they've most likely been running in practice. Finally, maybe get some momentum for the Wave.
Yes, as Sommer's here with Deneen. Sommer again. Lepore. Back to Doyle. Doyle to Sommer. Summer drives through, shoots it up, and it's no good. Rebounded by Hull on a fast break here. Slows the pace of play down, given to Fitzpatrick. Stolen by Deneen. It's one-on-one, and she lays it up. It's 2 more points for this for this Wilton team, as it's Valji, Welch, Hull, Welch. Fitzpatrick blocked by Masterson.
Another great defensive stop from Ashley Masterson.
Deneen, Mia Summer, Doyle. Up to Deneen. Deneen to Masterson. Masterson in the paint, and she draws a reach in. Oh, no, it seems to be Darien ball in this one. An offensive foul there.
Yeah, it looked like a double dribble was called. We'll see it again. Just 2 hands to dribble the ball. Possession turns over. Casa Lepore will check out, and Rose Bilella checks in, the sophomore.
Valji to Welch, both of whom have played the entire first quarter. Welch to number 24, Vivian Knott. And now it's taken away. Number 2, Rose Bilella passes it to Deneen, and it's no good. Seems to be a foul there on the rebound. Darien ball in this one.
Maddie Deneen called for the foul.
Number 15, Peyton Joyce checks in, and she gets the ball. Her first touches in this one. Valji, Joyce. Valji passes it to Ryan, to Joyce, who loses the ball. Ryan gets it. Valji for 3. It's good.
That's a huge shot. 3-pointers drive. A lot of momentum.
Deneen for 3, no good. Rebounded by Masterson to Doyle. Looks to be a foul on the freshman Joyce here.
Yeah, that one's on the court. Deneen will inbound, hoping to get some points.
Yeah, hoping to increase their already huge 14-point lead in this first quarter. As number 2 shoots it, missed.
Yeah, Bilella took the shot there. A little off the mark.
Let's see what this Darien team can do with their final possession of the quarter. Valji to inbound, passes it to Peyton Joyce. Joyce back to Valji. Joyce spots the captain Ryan, and it's stolen. It's stolen. Number 11, Doyle, dribbling up court. Passes it to number 21, Abby Fellon. And Masterson, the 2 is good. Joyce signaling time is running out. 5 seconds left. 3 seconds left. Last second shot needs to be done here, as it was stolen by Doyle at in the waning seconds of this first quarter. After 1, it's 21 Wilton to 5 Darien.
Yeah, and I mean, what a first quarter for the Wilton Warriors. You said it, Neve. They average, how many you say? You said it was 37, just over 37.5 points per game. I mean, look at how well they are. They're on track right now. Stephanie Runis is going to have to talk to her team, and she's moved her whole team from off the bench, getting as far away from the Warriors as possible, and has huddled her girls around to try to stop this defense. You got to get past half court. Just too many bad turnovers.
Yeah.
And great performance from Ashley Masterson. I mean, MVP of the first quarter, if we had one, with all her offensive rebounds, blocks, and 6 points, tied with Deneen for the lead of this.
Yeah, also, if I'm in the Wilton huddle right now, I saw them giving high fives. Keyshawn Macklin and Adam Lalibert and Andre Latham, the coaching staff, giving their girls high fives for this offensive outburst in the first quarter here. And right now I'm telling them, do what you've been doing, because it's obviously been working here with a 16-point lead after 1. Darien gets the ball to start the second quarter. Welch drives up, passes it to Nolan. Nolan back to Welch. Welch driving in, passing it to Nolan. Nolan from 3. It's too far.
Yeah, Nolan, definitely a sharp shooter. Probably the best three-point shooter on this Darien squad. We talked about that in the introduction, just a little too much on that one.
Yeah. As it's tipped out of bounds by Nolan. Again, it's Wilton ball to start this one off. The second quarter. Deneen to Doyle, the captain connection yet again, as Doyle passes it to number 21, Phelan. Phelan to Deneen. Travel on Wilton there as Nolan gets the ball. Nolan to Valji to Nolan. Passing it to Welch. Back to Nolan. Up to Ryan. Fitzpatrick. And she's fouled on her way up. Fitzpatrick will get... Oh, I'm sorry. The ball went out of bounds. Darien gets the inbound. Nolan back on the inbound.
Fitzpatrick had a great chance of putting one up. She was wide open. He just got caught up to.
And Fitzpatrick does get one in here for Darien's first points of the second quarter.
More points than Wilton has this quarter. So they score first.
Doyle up for 3. No good. Rebounded by Phelan. Phelan stolen by Valji. Valji stolen by Phelan. Pass to Masterson. Masterson to Deneen. Deneen. Oh, miscommunication there. Pass to Valji. Valji to Ryan. Who passes it to Nolan. Nolan to Welch. Welch, oh, she loses the ball. It's Deneen steals it. Deneen passes it to number 2, Belilla. Masterson gets a shot off. Gets fouled on the shot. She has 2 more free throws to expend. She already has 6 tonight. Let's see how many more she can get.
Looking to become Wilton's leading scorer. On the night, she's tied with fellow captain Deneen for 6 points in this one.
Yeah, Masterson, her first one. It's good. Elise Hole checks in this one.
Yeah, big thing you'll notice between these two teams is the height of this Wilton Warriors team. A lot of them, especially in the paint, when you look at Masterson and Phelan, they are much taller than the defenders for their opponents.
Masterson gets the rebound off her missed free throw, and that's 2 more points to add on. She's at 9. Nolan to Welch. Welch to Hull. Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick to Ryan. Ryan to Hull. Hull drives in, tries to get one up. Gets fouled. She'll have 2 free throws to shoot.
Taking a look at the foul. Great job moving inside. A little too much contact as she went up with it. Now number 21, Elise Hull, sophomore. JV player last year. She looks for her first points in this one.
She misses the first free throw. Yeah, Elise, her brother Merritt is on the baseball team, and he's a hard-throwing baseball player. As for her second free throw. Second free throw rims out. Masterson with the rebound, passes it to her co-captain Doyle. Doyle to Phelan. Phelan to number 15, Lauren Moe. Moe to Belillo. Doyle. Doyle to Masterson. Masterson to Moe. To Belilla. Call was out of bounds when Belilla got the pass. And Wilton takes a timeout here as the lead hasn't really expanded much in this second quarter, Owen.
Yeah, definitely been some adjustments on both these sides as we saw both coaches, Macklin and Runis, talking to her team. I mean, 21-5 at the end of the first quarter, and now only 3 points for Wilton and 2 for Darien so far as we're almost 3 minutes into the second quarter.
Yeah, what are you thinking if you're Coach Runis in this quarter?
Well, if you're, in my opinion, if you're Stephanie Runis, you're pretty happy that we've seen less turnovers than we have in the first quarter. I mean, it's been less than 3 minutes, but just to start that game off, we saw a crazy amount of errant passes, miscommunication, just poor IQ plays, and it seems like the Blue Wave has really cleaned that up so far in the second quarter, which is a good sign. It's just now about it's less about getting to the hoop and more about finishing when we're there.
Yeah. Nolan passes it to Welch. Welch back to Nolan. Nolan back to Welch, and it's stolen, poked out. Welch gets the ball back. Passes it to Hole. Hole to Welch. Seems to be a foul there. Wilton gets the ball back. Belella on the inbound. Passes it to Doyle. Doyle drives into the paint. He's poked out by Nolan. Nolan to Welch. Welch spins around, and it's stripped out by Doyle. Doyle standing there, passing it to Felon. Felon to Mo. Mo back to Felon. Felon to Masterson. Masterson back to Felon. Belella. Doyle for three. No good. Just hits the rim. Hole gets the rebound. Passes it to Nolan out of desperation. Passes it. He passed it to Ryan. Nolan. Welch open from three. It's good. Welch is at 5 points today as Darien cuts the lead to 14.
Yeah, Ava Welch, great shot, great three-pointer. And it was a great job from her. Brother Brady plays on the boys' varsity team. You can tell it runs in the family.
Yeah, a three by Masterson. Missed that one. As Ryan gets the pass from Hull. Manages it over a sliding Balilla. Gets the pass. Oh, she misses it. Doyle gets the steal, driving it up the court. Doyle passing it to Masterson. Masterson looking for number 15, Mo. Mo passing to Balilla. Welch pokes it out from Doyle. Welch up and gets the foul.
That was a great play from Ava Welch, my goodness. Gets the steal off Doyle, goes all the way to the cup, draws the and one.
Yeah, looking to make this a three-point play here. Darien already has cut the lead to 12, something we haven't seen since the first quarter.
Be huge if Welch could drain this one.
Welch, and it's good. That's 8 points on the day for Welch. Pass to Lepore to Doyle. Doyle from three, and it's good.
It's her second three-pointer of the game. She's up to 6 points, Neve.
Sarah Ryan, the freshman, checks in. Sister of captain Julia Ryan. Julia Ryan gets the ball. Hole for two, and it's good. You're seeing a lot more of a more well-choreographed offense here for Darien.
Exactly, Neve. That's the passing that Coach Stephanie Runis wants. And we can see why as it's effective. Darien only trailing by 12 now after trailing by 16 to end the first. So they're slowly climbing back.
Tess Hagney checks in for the first time in this one.
Yeah, you get another look at that ball movement to finish the Elise Hole layup off. And
Hagney gets the ball. Ryan. Hagney driving up court. Passing it back to Sarah Ryan. Hole to Ryan. And
it looks like a foul was called.
Yeah.
On the handoff to Ryan.
Yeah, it looks like Ryan was fouled while getting the ball, and she'll inbound it now.
Yeah, Deneen just got too much of her arm in there. Ref saw something they didn't like.
Ryan passes it to her sister, Julia. Hagney. Back to Julia. Elise to Tess. Hagney. And Masterson driving up for a layup. No good.
Yeah, another great defensive play by Masterson, but unfortunately she can't finish.
Sarah Ryan. Elise Hole from 3. No good. Rebound by Ryan. Hole again. Second chance. Seemed to be tipped there. Out of bounds on Darien. Looks like it hit the bottom of the basket this time. We saw one that hit the top. Now it's one that hit the bottom. Both called out of bounds on Darien, though.
Darien looking to use some double teams, too.
Yeah. Masterson passes it to Sommer. Sommer from 3. No good. Rebounded by Faye Bepler. Julia Ryan passes it to Sarah Ryan. Hagney. Hagney passes it to Sarah Ryan. Sarah passes it back to Hagney. Hagney to Bepler. Passes it to Bepler. Bepler. It's stolen by Lepore, and it's out of bounds. Darien ball.
Yeah, Darien kind of just wasting time on that possession. Hagney's with it a lot at the top of the key. Lepore maybe got a little bored, poked it out.
Yeah, Darien looks to be more satisfied with a 12-point deficit. Just wanted to get worse going into halftime here. So you'll see them take a little bit longer. It looked like they were just playing hot potato against Wilton with just passing it between Ryan and Hagney. Hole. Hole to Ryan. Ryan back to Hole. Hole shoots it up.
Yeah, shot clock went off. Kind of just a last-second desperation effort.
Yeah, one of the new implementations in the season for FCIAC.
Yeah,
It's
35-second shot clock, yep.
Yeah, the 35-second shot clock obviously doesn't have much of an effect, but you can see it there where Elise Hole could have gotten a better shot up, but she had to throw it up in desperation. Yeah. Foul on Masterson, and she can add to her already her leading total of 9 points in this one. Sorry, Deneen. As Deneen sinks the first one.
If Deneen can hit this second one, she'd be sitting at 8 points in the game so far.
Yeah, tied with Ava Welch for the second most in this game. And the second one, it's no good. Rebounded by, out of bounds off of McCloskey, or Vivian Knott there. So it'll be Wilton ball. Deneen on the inbound. Deneen inbounds it to her co-captain Doyle. Doyle, Welch defending Doyle. Try to poke that one out there. Masterson. Masterson fouled on the shot.
Yeah, this first half, Neve has been Ashley Masterson master class, if I do say so myself. I mean, 9 points. She could reach 11 if she hits these 2 shots, and inside the paint on both ends with the offensive rebounds and the defensive stops has been pretty absurd.
Yeah, she hasn't scored once in this second quarter, meaning that in the first quarter she had scored more than this entire Darien offense. And it's not like she's only been contributing offensively. She's been contributing with the rebounds and the defensive blocks and steals too, as she sinks both of her free throws. Welch passing it to Vivian Knott, who checks in to this one. Knott to Welch. Welch driving in, steps back, passes it to Hole. Hole passes it to Knott. Knott back to Hole, back to Knott. Ava Welch gets the ball. Knott, Hole. 40 seconds left in this one. Five seconds left on the shot clock. Has to do something as it's poked out by Lepore. Lepore, and she lays it up. Now no difference between the shot clock and the game clock here. The shot clock's actually been turned off as Valji checks into this one. Valji did not. Not on the inbound here. Darien ball as Wilton has increased its lead slowly but steadily to 17. Nolan checks into this one. She's in on the inbound.
Yeah, Wilton's dominated this second half of the second quarter. The lead was 1-12. Darien hasn't scored since.
Nolan to Valji. Valji for 2. No good. Rebounded by Knott, who puts it up 2. That's good for her points in this. Her first points in this one. A final shot, a buzzer beater. Oh, just missed by Mia Sommer. As at half, it is 32-17. Wilton up against Darien.
Yeah, and Stephanie Runis is definitely going to want to have a talk with her team after this. The second quarter, much better than the first. Couldn't get much worse than the first quarter, but still decent job adjusting. And we're going to see what it's like in this second half, Neve.
Yeah. You're watching the DAF Media Network, a joint venture of the Darien Foundation and the Darien Athletic Foundation. We'll be back right after this.
The Darien Foundation was founded in 1998 by Richard and Maureen Chilton, and the thesis behind that founding was to bring technology to the Darien public school systems. And that launched us, and that got us going, and through technology and capital project initiatives, we've now funded over $5.5 million over the last 24 years to build a better Darien.
Our board really likes to get involved and assist the partners that we collaborate with, whether it's a grant for a youth project or a grant from a community service, schools, the police. Often they come to us with ideas that we help them bring to fruition.
The Darien Foundation recently awarded the Darien Police Department 2 grants. One was for laser shot and the other for Faro technology. Laser shot technology is based on decision making. It may come down to using their firearm, but in reality, we would like them to talk the situation down where you use less lethal force, and this program allows us to do that.
Police, drop the gun!
Faro technology gives us a 360-degree view, catching all the points we need to catch in our accident scene. It also takes a lot less time. This allows us to open up roads, get traffic flowing a lot quicker than we ever used to be able to. We can also map the inside of buildings. We can use it at outdoor crime scenes, indoor crime scenes. It's really used for a plethora of investigations. It's a tool that most other departments may not have their hands on just yet, and thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have that technology.
At Home in Darien is a nonprofit organization that helps senior citizens to remain living independently in their home and in the community. We provide important services to help them do so, such as transportation. Thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have this amazing new van, and we are so excited about it and what it'll do for the community.
From all standpoints, this is going to be a real improvement in the services we provide, both in terms of safety and comfort. The Darien Foundation is important to the community in the scope that they reach out to answer needs.
Post 53 is the town's ambulance service. We respond to over 1,600 emergency calls a year. We're a vital service that has been here for 51 years. The technology upgrades provided by the Darien Foundation has been a game changer for us. It's allowed us to improve our training. It has helped us hone our skills. You don't know how important an ambulance is until you actually need it. Thanks to our partnership with the Darien Foundation, who's provided all this technology and several grants throughout the years, we're able to continue to be prepared, to be well-trained and well-staffed, to respond 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whenever you need it.
The Darien Foundation is really excited to be able to launch a new program for the Darien schools, which will benefit students K through 12 in all 7 schools. This is the new robotics program, which will be an extracurricular opportunity for students to build robots, compete against other leagues, and collaborate together.
Our robotics program is going to benefit students in so many ways. In regular classes, students are always looking for the right answer, that there's only one way to answer something. Robotics is completely different. In robotics, you learn that there are multiple solutions to every problem. You learn that you have these obstacles that you have to overcome. You have to really be a creative problem solver. And most importantly, you need to persevere.
Early on in the process, the Darien Foundation reached out to administration and the offer to provide funding for a project, and it just dovetailed beautifully to the goals of the strategic plan. I look forward to continue to work closely with the Darien Foundation, both on this project and other projects down the line.
We welcome ideas for possible grants. We'd like to do grants that promote and strengthen our community. Sometimes it's from an organization, sometimes it's from our emergency service partners, or it's from the Darien Public Schools. One of our most popular grants, which was the Playground by the Sound, came to us from 4 Darien moms who said, let's get together and figure out how to build this.
Thanks to the generosity of our board members and officers, every dollar you give to the Darien Foundation goes directly to the grants that we're supporting. I invite all of you to help us move our community further and support the Darien Foundation.
Welcome back to the DAF Media Network, live from the Darien High School Main Gym, where you're watching the Wilton Warriors girls varsity basketball team at the Darien Blue Wave. At half, it is 32 to 7. At the start of the third quarter, sorry, it is 32 to 17 with Wilton in front.
Yeah, and after a tremendous first quarter from Wilton, at the end of the first, they were leading Darien by 16, 21 to 5. But actually, in the second quarter, despite this large lead for the Warriors, Darien actually outscored their opponent. Wilton had 11 in that second quarter. Darien actually had 12. So great. If I'm Coach Stephanie Runas, I'm not that mad. I mean, we saw the adjustments, and they really showed out. And now, hopefully, in the second half, will prove to be functional.
Yeah, Doyle bringing the ball up the court, looking to expand the lead because no lead is safe in basketball. This to Masterson. It's good. Oh, sorry. To Deneen. Deneen, that's good. Welch to Valji. Valji, Nolan. Fitzpatrick driving in. And it's blocked. Masterson with the rebound. Lepore passing it to Summer. Deneen from 3. She's off the mark. Ryan passing it to Nolan. Nolan passing it above a jumping Welch. Stolen by Lepore. Lepore passing it to Doyle. From 3, Deneen. No good. Rebounded by Valji. Valji, Nolan, stolen by Lepore, and Masterson goes up for the layup. And Wilton is out to a hot start, scoring 4 early in this one.
Yeah, this looks just like the start.
Yeah, Valji just throws it out of bounds. Wilton gets the ball back, can expand its lead up to 7.
Yeah, looks just like the start of this first half with the full court press and Darien getting scared, making bad passes. Lepore with the steal. Masterson was able to finish for her 13th point in this one.
Yeah, Owen, if you're Coach Runas, are you planning on double teaming the ball as similar to Coach Macklin's strategy as the 3 misses? Lepore for another layup.
Well, it's funny you bring that up, Neve, because it's almost like you want to try against this team, but then as
stolen by Doyle. Doyle off the mark. It's Darien ball.
You want to try to win the game in any way you can. Maybe Stephanie Runas, I mean, it's hard to do that if your team has been practicing that in practice sessions, and it also kind of shows, you know, it's if you're just copying your opponent, yeah, kind of giving them a taste of their own medicine. It could work.
Cole gets the rebound, and it's good. Darien cuts the deficit down to 19. Deneen dribbling down, passes it to Sommer. Sommer passes it to Hole. As Darien now drives down with Welch. Darien gets the ball back. Darien last year had 2 great freshmen on their roster, Julianne White and Gigi Brown, and neither of them are here this year, Owen. Their loss has really been heard. Darien could be a winning team this season, but unfortunately they're currently 4-5 and could be 4-6 with a loss in this one.
Yeah, those were 2 really important freshmen to the squad, 2 lacrosse players as well.
Ryan with the layup, fouled on her way up.
Yeah, Gigi Brown and Julianne White were both, you know, predicted to be the future of this Darien basketball team. Unfortunately, they decided to focus on their multiple other sports, and so again, yeah, big losses. Them and the seniors, of course, from last year.
Yeah. With 7 seniors on the roster last year to 1 this year is Ryan for her first free throw. It's good. She has her first points in this one. Yeah, Sarah Ryan, she's a member of the JV soccer team in the fall. And as you were talking about Gigi Brown and Julianne White, she also plays lacrosse in the spring. And she's the sister of the captain, Julia Ryan, as she sinks in both free throws. She misses the second free throw, I'm sorry. Deneen, an errant pass as Welch now gets the inbound here for Darien, looking to cut the lead to 16. Back to what it was at the end of the first quarter.
Keyshawn Mackman wasn't happy with that one. It was really out of character for the captain, Maddie Deneen. Seemed like
stolen by Sommer, misses the shot. Now it's a 4-on-5. Welch driving in, passes it. And it looks to be a foul on Wilton here as Sarah Ryan will inbound the ball for the Darien.
Yeah, Welch is bringing it up the right side. Laporte gave her a little shove as she was trying to pass it across into the paint.
Another foul on Wilton and Laporte here. Laporte has 3 fouls in this one, getting into a little bit of foul trouble early in this third quarter.
Yeah, 2 in under 5 seconds as well.
Welch, as we mentioned before, she is the leading scorer on this Darien offense, accountable for 8 of their 20 points. Well, Laporte is also accountable for 8 of their 20 points. Welch's 3, no good. Poked out of bounds by Elise Hull. Maddie Deneen on the inbound. Masterson. Oh, it rims out. Fitzpatrick, Cole.
Yeah, it was a great move.
Ryan
by
signaling.
Masterson.
Welch to Julia Ryan. Brought back in the court by Ava Welch. Welch from 3. Just hits the top of the rim, no good. Looks like Runis is bringing in the strategy of full court press as that 3, no good. Deneen puts it back in for two points, 2 second chance points here.
Second double-digit scorer for the Warriors. Deneen at 11 on the night, and of course Ashley Masterson with 13.
Yeah, Laporte could make it 3 with just a 2-point shot, as she's at 8. Doyle brings the ball past half court. Deneen to Bililla. Bililla, who checked in, turns it over to Welch. Welch drives past Sommer. Peyton Joyce checks in. Peyton Joyce for 2, and it's good. That's Peyton Joyce's first points in this one.
Yeah, great move there from the freshman Peyton Joyce. Backed it up, spun it around, banks it off the glass.
The 3 from Deneen, no good. Belilla off the mark on her shot. And Masterson fouled on her shot. She looks to add 2 more to her 13 points.
Yeah, taking a look at the foul. Just another great offensive rebound from Masterson. Something we've been seeing a lot. Tried to go underneath with the 2 hands. But now she goes to the line looking for 15. And if you talked about, I mean, how much of a high-scoring game this was for Wilton. Talking about averaging 37 points per game. And Darien's only letting up 38, and they've passed that mark.
Yeah, Darien's offense has been on par in this one, too, because they're averaging around that 37-38, making this game looking to be a close one. But Wilton's been astounding in this performance here, scoring 40, and it's not even halfway through the third quarter, as Masterson makes the second of her 2 free throws. Nolan for 3. Rims out.
Yeah, Mackenzie Nolan was that player that we said, Neve, should be the focus for this Darien squad, but she's been pretty much a non-factor in this one, just not getting many great good looks from 3-point.
Bililla from 3. Seems to be Wilton ball. They get the inbound here as her shot goes out of bounds, but tipped out of bounds by Darien defender.
Yeah, I believe it was Bepler who was trying to grab the air ball out of the air, but then went off her hand and then out of bounds.
Bililla up for 2. Rebounded by Bepler. Bepler double teamed off the ball immediately. Bililla throws it up. timeout for Wilton here, as their lead is 19 in this one of the highest in the history between the Darien and Wilton matchups. If we look back the past 10 years, only one has a higher gap than 19. That was 2015, Owen, where the Wilton Warriors scored 67 and held Darien to just 24.
Yeah, if you look back at a lot of these past matchups, there's been plenty of times where Darien was held below that 35-point mark. They scored last year, it was just 29 points in the loss and then 25. Go back to 2020, it was 35 points when they lost. In 2019, 33. So yeah, a lot of great defense performances like the one we see today.
Yeah, and
from Wilton.
Yeah, and against Darien, Wilton becomes another offensive specimen here, as they've had 4 or over 6 performances with over 40 points in this one, and this is another one they add to the list here tonight. Belilla drives in and loses the ball. Joyce on the inbound here. Joyce to her freshman Beppler. Back to Joyce. Nolan. Joyce. Knopp. And it's stolen by number 11, Doyle. Doyle throws it up. Joyce with the rebound sits on the ball to evade the double team, and it rolls out of bounds. Darien ball.
Yeah, that was just desperation, trying to get Doyle's missed layup and trying to get back on offense.
Beppler back to Joyce. Joyce, Nolan. Nolan from 3. Off the mark again. Beppler with the rebound though. Passes it back to Nolan from 3 again. No good again. Nolan, as you mentioned earlier, Beppler with the rebound. Joyce up. And it's finally taken away by number 12, Deneen.
Yeah, that was a lot of shots by Darien, and none were able to cash in.
Yeah, as you mentioned at halftime, Darien needed to work on getting their shots to fall in, and better shot selection here, as Doyle works to put in another 2. She's at 8 for tonight. Joyce to Hull. Joyce. Knopp. A mid-range shot, way off. Deneen. Belilla, 3. Rebounded by Masterson, and it's in. With 44 seconds left in the third quarter, she's at 16 points already. Hull passes it to Joyce. Nolan signals she's open. Knopp signals for the ball. Nolan passes it to Beppler. And it's thrown out of bounds by Darien. Wilton get the ball back. Oh.
And Vivian Knott checks out. Welch will come back on.
Ryan defending Deneen. Doyle. 6 seconds left here as Deneen throws one up, a layup in. 2 seconds left, 1 second left. No urgency to get a shot off to end the third quarter. It's 47-22. Wilton up by 25 as we enter the fourth quarter in this one.
Yeah, and this, for the second time in this game, Darien was only to put up 5 points in a quarter. So this will be...
Yeah, it's 15 more points for the Wilton offense here.
Yeah, big difference, big gap, but still not the greatest one that the Blue Wave has faced today, Neve. So coming in this fourth frame, Darien is going to need a lot of offensive prowess and a lot of defensive stops if they want to be able to come back and win this one.
Yeah, Wilton also is able to win by the largest margin of victory in the past 10 years if they just outscore Darien by 18, which is easier said than done, but still doable for this Wilton offense, which has been powered by their strong defense against Darien.
100%. And this Wilton team, Neve, 3-6, but they're 2-2 in the FCIAC conference, and I don't think that record represents their skill. They've shown out so far, and both these teams have pretty good records.
Yeah, Keyshawn Macklin, as we mentioned in the open, started off his rookie season with a trip to the SEAC semifinals, and with the squad, they look like they could do it again, Owen.
Yeah, Wilton currently sits at 6 out of 8 teams in the FCIAC East, and Darien is last in that. And Wilton's going to face a challenge next week with another FCIAC team versus Greenwich, and that is going to be, I think, the real test to see if they're really cut out for these playoffs. Darien is trying to make the playoffs this year after not qualifying the past 2 years, and hopefully head coach Stephanie Runas can get them to that end goal.
As they start the fourth quarter, Darien is on a homestand right now, the first of a 3-game homestand. Next game against Stanford, and then St. Joe's, who is a top team in the state, as Joyce's 2 lands in. Deneen driving up, steps out of bounds. It's Darien ball. Yeah, we were mentioning Keyshawn Macklin has been double teaming this Darien team, but Coach Runas responds with a triple team of her own on the captain Deneen, and it was effective. Yeah, Joyce gets the ball back after the errant pass, throws it up, and now rebounded by number 5, Cassette Lepore. Addie Von Loser. Doyle driving in, passing it to Felon. Deneen, and it hits the bottom of the backboard.
Yeah, we saw Darien using that double team like you just talked about, Neve, the one that Keyshawn Macklin's been using for his Warriors.
Nolan passes it to Welch. Welch driving up. Welch leads this Darien team in scoring with 8 points, although she hasn't scored once in the second half. Nolan to Welch. Welch shot blocked. Recovered by Deneen. Deneen again triple teamed. Poked out by Welch. Welch, and it's blocked. Fouled. Welch fouled by Doyle. And she gets a chance to cut the deficit.
Yeah, look at the foul again. She goes up. Maybe the Wilton defender just gets a little bit on the arm. But Welch could get to 10 points. And you talked about her being the highest scorer, the freshman, Ava Welch. And
the first one just rims out, an unlucky shot there.
Yeah, if you look at the 3 captains in Julia Ryan, Mackenzie Nolan, and Janie Fitzpatrick, combined with the 3 of them, Janie Fitzpatrick is the only one with points, and she just has a mere 2.
Yeah, it's been a lot of contribution from the freshmen, and that's no surprise when you look at the roster breakdown with 5 freshmen, 2 sophomores, 5 juniors, and just a 1 senior. So it's mainly an underclassmen-run team as Doyle drives into the net, shoots it up. Felon on the second chance gets fouled. Well, when you look at Wilton, it's mostly seniors and juniors with 5 seniors, 4 juniors, and just a 1 sophomore on the team.
Yeah, it's definitely, experience is definitely a huge part of basketball. And when you have, you said 5 freshmen, Neve, versus all these seniors and juniors and these upperclassmen, it's hard to get by, especially when you've been playing high school basketball for over 3 years and now less than 1. Big matchup difference.
Yeah, Felon looks to make the second of her 2 free throws, and she misses both. A fight for the rebound given to Fitzpatrick, who was wrestling with Addie Von Loser there. Fouls have been a problem for this Wilton team, although it doesn't seem to affect them on the score much. Darien has been fouled more in every single quarter than Wilton.
Yeah, and those fouls, that's the result of the defense that Coach Keyshawn Macklin is having his girls running. When you have that full court press and those double teams, and you're aggressive for the basketball, you're gonna get a lot of reach-in fouls, a decent amount of shooting fouls as well, especially when you have people like Felon and Masterson, who are so tall that can just get in the paint and cause problems.
Yeah, Van Loser and Ginny Fitzpatrick both fall trying to get the ball, and it ends up being Wilton ball. Deneen in on the inbound. Valji ready to subs in for the freshman, Peyton Joyce. Deneen searching for someone to pass it to. Everyone looks to be covered. And it's a turnover.
Yeah, that wasn't a mistake on Deneen's part. Every one of her teammates was just smothered by a Darien defender, so that was a great job by the Wave.
Bringing the ball up court. Driving in, passes it to Valji, passes it back to Welch. Welch and Valji have had a connection in this one. In the first quarter, almost every possession went through them as Valji throws up a 2. She misses it. Doyle drives past everyone, hesitates, passes it to Felon, and throws it out of bounds. Valji in on the inbound here now.
Yeah, was looking for Doyle. Went out, hits the side of the bench, and 23-point lead now.
Darien calls a timeout in this one, trying to talk it over. We'll be right back on the Darien Media, DAF Media Network. We're back on the DAF Media Network. Wilton up 47-24 with 5 minutes and 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter here. As Nolan has the ball at the three-point arc, passes it to Valji. Nolan gets the ball back, and it's blocked out of bounds by Addie Van Lozer.
What a rejection that was. Looked like she was swatting a floater out of the air.
Welch driving in and loses it on the shot. Oh, seems like she was fouled here, and as she gets a chance to expand her, or to gain more points here. Welch is leading the team in points with 8 out of the team's 24 points. That's 1/3 of the team's points in this one.
Yeah, it looked like it was actually called on the floor, so Darien will inbound it.
Oh, as Nolan gets it, pass it to Ryan. Ryan is triple teamed in the paint, throws one up, and gets the foul on this one.
Yeah, Ryan was absolutely smothered.
Yeah, Julia Ryan looking to get her first points in this game. Ryan, this is Ryan's second year in varsity. She was one of the higher scorers on the team last year, and rightfully so. She was promoted to captain. As we mentioned, her sister Sarah Ryan, who's not on the floor right now, has played some valuable minutes in this one.
Miss Sarah Ryan does have a point in this one. She made a free throw, and now her sister passes her.
With 2. Deneen covered up. Doyle passes it to Bilella. Bilella throws it up for Phelan, and it just hits the rim. Ryan struggling to get it out, gets it to Valji. Valji crosses up Doyle. Ryan searching for someone. Valji with the ball again, passing it to Welch. Ryan driving in. Nolan from a long 2. That goes out of bounds. Darien gets the ball back.
Yeah, that was good ball movement from the Blue Wave on that possession.
Yeah, Darien's been moving the ball much better in this these final 3 quarters than they did in the first one. Seemed to be that they had like the jitters or something, as there's a loose ball foul there as 2 Darien defenders and 1 Wilton player all wrestle over the ball. Wilton gets the ball with this one.
Yeah, Neve, we've seen improvements from this Darien squad from that first quarter, and I haven't been present in all of Darien girls basketball games, but that first quarter will hopefully be the worst one they have to play for the whole rest of the season.
And hopefully Wilton has many more like those, because that was one of the best quarters of basketball I've ever seen from an offensive and defensive standpoint. Going up to a 21-0 lead, it was utter dominance, and it stayed the same since then, really. They've just maintained their lead. As from 3, no good. Hits the rim a couple times.
It went up and over the entire hoop.
Yeah, that was number 11, Doyle. Nolan to Ryan. Ryan fouled again on the layup.
There's the captain calling for it right in the paint. Not afraid to get physical.
Ryan already has 2 points in this one, both coming from free throws in this 4th quarter, as she looks to get 2 more points and go to 4. She misses the first one here. Darien's next game is at home against Stanford at 7 o'clock on the 16th, and then plays again at home on the 19th against St. Joseph as she makes the second one.
Yeah, and if Stephanie Runis wants to lead this team into the playoffs, that St. Joe's game is going to be a huge game. St. Joe's, like you mentioned earlier, one of the best teams in the entire state of Connecticut. So interesting to see how her team is going to be able to match up.
Doyle shot, no good. Phelan also misses. Now Nolan is driving up the court. Driving up. Hole is in this one. Hole passes it to Ryan. Ryan didn't look like she was expecting the pass. Now she's trapped in a double team. Nolan for 3. It's good. Her first bucket in this one.
Yeah, Kenzie Nolan's 3-point skill showed off there. Just kind of comes in some garbage time, but great shot.
Deneen shoots it from mid-range, and that doesn't fall. While Doyle on the rebound gets it in. She's at 11 for tonight. That's 3 Wilton players with over 10 points. Welch from 3 with a heat check, no good, hits the rim. As it's Darien Ball on the rebound.
Yeah, Wilton up to 50 points.
Yeah, Darien's up to a respectable 30, very close to their average of 37.9, while Wilton is past their average in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, and if you look back to the 2 games ago for the Wave, they only scored 29 against Norwalk. So they do have a better point margin, but still not what you're looking for.
Welch hits it for 3. Now she's at 11. First Darien player with over 10 points, as they're playing more of a harder defense here. Right now in this 4th quarter, Darien's outscored Wilton 11-3. Number 4, Julia Nanos checks in. She tries to throw it from 3. It doesn't fall. Phelan tries to get some second chance points, and she gets fouled. She'll shoot for 2.
You talked about Ava Welch a couple seconds ago. She has a third of the points for the Darien Blue Wave team. She has 11. Entire team has 33, and it's been pretty spread out with multiple people on this Blue Wave squad.
Yeah, Phelan looking to get her first point in this one, as she misses the first free throw.
Yeah, she already missed 2 earlier, I believe, and she gets really down low in that form and then kind of pops up.
Yeah, it's similar to the other center on this team, Masterson, who also crouches low before getting up on the free throw. Might be a thing in the Wilton system as she sinks the second free throw for her first point in this one. It's 51-33 Wilton. Welch falls on the ball there. as Darien gets the ball, Nolan on the inbound. Nolan passes it to Welch. Nolan for three. Hits the rim. Rebounded by Casey O'Connor. O'Connor driving up. Hull strips O'Connor, going up for two. It's good. Hull has 6 points on the night. Second most on this Darien team.
I think a transition foul was called.
Yeah, Nolan gets the ball back, and that's 2 more points for this Darien offense.
Yeah, good layup. Getting
And
right
they
off
get the
inbound
ball
50 and
back
not.
again. Welch to Nolan. Nolan blocked by Phelan.
Well, maybe a little bit too late for this Darien defense just getting the ball back.
This was the ideal defense that they needed in this first quarter, but unfortunately it comes too late. Darien already down 14 with under 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, Wilton gets a whole new 5 out on the court with under 2 minutes left.
Ooh, it hits the net on the inbound. Hull shoots it, got blocked by Deneen. Summer running down the court. Masterson back in. We haven't seen her in this half. Doyle, and there's a foul on the floor.
Yeah, coming up the court on that, Cassette Lepore was open, wide open, but instead Summer took it up the left side. I'd like to see what she can make happen.
Passes it. Summer short. Faye Bepler checks into this one. She's a JV soccer player in the fall, and like many of these players on this girls basketball team, she also plays lacrosse in the spring.
Definitely a ton of athletes, especially in the town of Darien. A lot of 3-sport athletes on this team.
Hagney gets the ball. She's the varsity field hockey goalie for this Darien team. As she looks for someone wide open, passes it to Nolan. Nolan to Hull. Hull in for 2, gets the foul on the shot.
Yeah, at least Hull's done a great job of getting inside, weaving through defenders into the paint. That one unfortunately doesn't drop through, but she gets herself a trip to the line.
Yeah, Elise Hull second in points on this Darien team. As the Darien with 1 point here, they would, as with that point, now Darien has matched their average points per game here. So it's an average performance from this Darien team, just a phenomenal one from Wilton. Hull misses the second one, but Deneen on the rebound is double covered by Hull and Bepler. Bepler looks to be the on-ball defender as she switched from 3 different players, and it works in Darien's favor as they get the ball back. Oh, and I don't know about you, but I've seen Darien play a lot more hardcore defense in these final 2 quarters than they did in the first. You think they're learning from Keyshawn Macklin of Wilton here?
Well, yeah, especially in the fourth quarter, Neve, we've only seen Wilton score 4 points as we have under a minute remaining in this game. So I think Stephanie Runis is going to look back in this game and see how effective that full court press is against some of these teams, against her team, and then see if that works in the upcoming games against Stanford and St. Joe's.
Yeah, Darien has played much better on the road than at home, with all 4 of their wins coming away at Weston, at Bassick, at Wright Tech, and at West Hill. So she's still looking to get her first home win here as a coach of the girls basketball team. Deneen on the inbound here. The shot clock has been turned off as the clock is trailing under 30 seconds. Deneen. Summer. Lepore comes back into this one. She could get 10 with a layup. Doyle. Deneen. Doyle contemplates shooting it from 3, hesitates. Doyle to Lepore. Looks like they're just going to dribble it out. Doyle. And passes it to Masterson to end the game. Masterson was definitely the MVP in this one, as Darien loses to the Wilton Warriors 51-38. On Wilton, the leading scorers were Masterson, of course, with 16 masterful points in this one. Number 12, Maddie Deneen with 13, and the other captain, Mary Kate Doyle, with 11 points in this one. For Darien, the freshman Ava Welch led in scoring with 11 points, while seconded by Elise Hull, and in third place was tied between Peyton Joyce and Vivian Knott. One last thank you to our DAF Media crew: Trevor Kisco, Owen Craig, Will Donnelly, Joe Arunatigi, Kevin Arunatigi, and our head advisor, Damian Andrew. I'm Neve Sagal alongside Owen Heffron, and see you next time on the DAF Media Network.